All right, this is entry number 1 of my fishing almost every day in New World. This is going to be, I guess, kind of just a stream of consciousness type series that I put together. Just bought this game. Fishing is very relaxing in it, so I thought I'd do a little series where I just fish and sit and talk to myself or talk to you, whoever's listening. Not that many people are probably going to watch this. It's more of just a therapy for myself, I think. Just talk about whatever comes to my mind. Maybe use it as a open book journal. See what happens. Max throw. First try, no big deal. Today's a pretty good day, I guess, overall. Got some stuff on my mind. Work has been pretty slow. I'm in sales, so, in sales, it's not just a matter of being bored when you're slow. It's, hey, I don't have much money coming in as I work on commission, so. Not ideal, but if I remember correctly, last September was kind of a similar situation. It's pretty slow last year, this time. So, just gotta wait it out, basically. Overall, not too sure how to feel. No thanks, baby. That was my fiance asking me if but I already have ice cream in the freezer. I like that Ben & Jerry's Americone Dream. I think it's great ice cream. I don't really have an opinion on Stephen Colbert one way or another, but I guess that's his flavor. I just happen to like the flavor. Just gonna cycle through all these baits here and see what happens. Lately, I've just been feeling like not really sure how to describe it. It's kind of like a mix of just this weird, seemingly contradicting mix of like being grateful for where I am, like professionally and monetarily, and just probably like 7. The food says it'll be here. Oh, it's already here. Apparently. The food got here fast. Just this weird mix of being grateful for where I am professionally, and also a feeling of like maybe I missed my calling of what I really should be doing. But I'm not sure how to feel about that. Guys ever wonder how to like take all of your passions in life and somehow make them into your living as an income? It's been on my mind lately. My passions in life have always pretty much been you know, gaming from a really young age, music from a teenage age, and then my friends. Just watch other people doing stuff like streaming and professional video game playing or content creation around video games, and you wonder, like, can I do that? And I have done to that on, you know, a really, really small scale. Is that mine? Thank you. But to do it at like a real professional level and be successful at it, I don't know. Could I do something like that? I would really love to try. But I don't know if I mean trying by just putting out content when I can, or I don't know if that means like quitting like my job, which is just seems to me, when I think about that, where I am now, to be just not the right thing to do. So what do I really mean by trying that? I don't know. I read an article today that Shroud just bought a $10 million mansion. And I look at something like that, and it's just, you know, great for him. Like, it's not really coming from a place of jealousy. It's just more or less like, you know, with anything, I find that I'm never really jealous of someone achieving something really cool. It's just, I'd like the same thing. You know what I mean? It's like, I want to see people win. You know, try to take the abundance mindset that there's enough for everyone, and there is. I do believe that. But when I see people doing really good, not only do I feel happy, but I feel just this yearning to be able to do something like that myself. Maybe it stems from like a deeper desire just to be great at something. The cliche of like being a jack of all trades, master of none. I don't know if that's something that people think about a lot, but for some reason it's been on my mind. Just to be great at one thing, like really good at it. And to be recognized and rewarded. Takes a lot of sacrifice. It takes a little bit of luck, or perhaps a lot of luck, and a lot of sacrifice, and a lot of hard work all at the same time. But you know, $10 million playing video games professionally and streaming. I mean, I'm 32. I'll be 33 in 4 months, 5 months. You know, growing up, I was just told, hey, you know, video games, they're not going to get you anywhere. Like, video games are a waste of time. You need to study, you need to get good grades, you need to figure out what you're going to do for a real job. You know, that was advice I was given growing up. And I'm old enough to remember, like, when I was growing up, I was playing outside, and video games were starting to become an extreme sensation with kids. You know, I grew up with, you know, NES, SNES. I remember when the Nintendo 64 came out, it was huge. But I was still going outside, still riding my bike, still skating, still playing outside with my friends, getting dirty, playing Manhunt in the suburbs, playing Manhunt in the nearby woods. You know, riding my bikes, doing tricks, pretending we could be professional skateboarders. You know, grew up in this weird time of the dawning of the internet was just at hand when I was a adolescent. It was not yet the juggernaut and commander of everyone's attention on a daily and minute by minute basis. I mean, it was email and, you know, some forums, chat rooms, AOL. I still remember the 56K modem making the crazy noises, dialing up to log on. I mean, now, you know, kids these days, they get it. Like, just hand it to them. Like, my 2-year-old nephew, he's going to grow up in a world where, you know, this internet economy and society has been around and it's been established. You know, it's going to seem normal to them. They're not going to be indoctrinated with this mindset of like, oh yeah, this internet thing, it's a fad. Oh yeah, this gaming thing, it's a fad. It's gonna go away. It's gonna waste your time, or you're wasting your time if you spend too much of your time doing something like that. Never, you know, did we imagine, meaning me as a kid or my parents probably, that it would be something so huge and so easily monetized. Even as I say those words, I know that's not true. I mean, being able to successfully market yourself and monetize yourself as a content creator is a lot of work, and saying anything otherwise is just taken away from the people that successfully do it. For every one big streamer or gamer, there's literally millions that are never going to see the light of day, probably including myself. Light of day meaning any sort of stable monetary success or even recognition. I don't know. It's just something that's been on my mind lately as I enter the rat race every day. Again, extremely grateful for where I'm at, but time just wondering if I'm doing the right thing. Am I wasting my life just, you know, being a cog in a wheel of corporate America? There's a real problem too of like there just being too much information out there. Like there's too much almost to take in. It's, you know, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, TikTok, Twitter, all these people just projecting this facade of success, and look how easy it is to just live your dream life. All it takes is for you to just reach out and grab it. It's right here on the internet. Look at us. You know, and it's just, some of them are like, hey, you know, work hard. You know, give up those things which you'd rather do so you can attain the success and the comfortability of living that you desire. And then there's some that are like, you know, don't kill yourself for someone else's dreams. Follow your own dream. Don't worry about the money. You know, live within your means and do what you love as long as it's what you love. And there's real serious pros and cons to both of those ways of thinking. They're two sides of the same coin. Yin and yang. You know, balance. I don't know if there's such a thing as balance. It depends on what you're trying to achieve, I suppose. You know, if you're trying to be the best at something, there's no such thing as balance. There's complete and utter devotion to what you're trying to achieve, to be the best, everything else suffers for it as far as the other facets of your life. And then truly trying to achieve work-life balance or hobby-life balance, you'll become a master of nothing. You'll be mediocre at best at a lot of different things. like a true dad. I use dad as, like, I guess a pejorative in that sense, but that's not really what I mean. I mean just really like you know, just having no time to master one thing. If you got a girlfriend, a fiance, a wife, kids, work, family needs, friend needs, how much time do you really have for one hobby to be truly masterful at it? How many years do you need? How much innate talent do you need? Well, I guess this really just is accomplishing exactly what I want to do. I'm extremely relaxed right now. Just talking and fishing here in this pond. Mini game of fishing in this game is really good. I've played ESO for a number of years, off and on. Mostly off now, but I liked the fishing in the game. It just felt a little too, I don't know what to say, like autonomous. Wasn't much interaction. Mostly you just sitting there casting over and over again. At least this is like, hey, I want to cast in that specific area. There's deep, shallow, very shallow spots of the waterbed. There's a fun little mini game of like how far you want to cast it, and not only that, but click at the right time and reel in. Don't break your line. If there's somebody working at Amazon Game Studios that their only contribution was the fishing mini game and not much else, they hit a home run, because it's actually a lot of fun. Of course, I sound like a weird fishing dork or something like that, but I haven't fished that much in real life. I mean, I have fished, but not as much as you would think, as I sit here fishing almost every day in New World. Game overall is really cool. Kind of exceeded my expectations in a little bit. My expectations shouldn't really have been that high to begin with. The MMORPG genre has slowly, or maybe not slowly, sharply in the last 5 years just declined so hard. You know, the emergence of the Battle Royale games and the other first-person shooters and, you know, just other games. Just time has not been kind to the MMORPG. We're pretty much left with just nostalgia of the old days, how it used to be. Nostalgia is a drug. Like a true drug, man. And it's one that these companies can surely monetize. They know how to tap into it if they do it right. I mean, just look at all the re-release games and re-release movies, for that matter. 4 out of my 5 best friends growing up are all playing the Diablo remaster. I mean, that's not just for the sake of nostalgia. I don't know what is. Well, I don't know how long I'm going to make these entries. I don't know if they're going to be 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes. I'm sure they'll vary in size. I guess I shouldn't try to limit them or extend them past what they really need to be. Not that they're not boring, it's just I don't know. This one feels just about the right length for the first one. See what the final catch is. Small pike. Alright, let's see what I will get. Just salvage all this stuff. I'm gonna get some wood from the ores. I didn't catch any treasure chests, which is kind of sad. That was fun. Last night I caught at least 3 treasure chests. Who knows if fishing will be lucrative in the game. If you can catch 3, 4, 5 treasure chests a night, if you fish a lot, it can definitely be lucrative. I think I'm going to go ahead and end it here. If you watched this, thanks for checking in. Probably going to do a bunch of these. This felt really good. I'll make a playlist for them.